Imagine a time when India wasn't one big country like it is today. Picture this. It's 1947, and India is finally free from British rule. But Harry's the catch freedom didn't mean everything was sorted out. Back then, India was split into two parts. The areas the British directly controlled and 565 princely states, each ruled by its own king or prince. These states were like little kingdoms, and when the British left on August 15, 1947, they told these rulers, "You're free now. You can join India, join Pakistan, or stay independent." Sounds messy, right? It was. Without someone stepping in, India could have broken into hundreds of tiny pieces, each with its own rules, borders, and problems. But one man made sure that didn't happen: Sardar Patel. In just 2 years, he brought almost all these 565 princely states together to create the united India we know today. How did he do it? Let's dive into this amazing story and find out.
So let's set the scene. It's 1947 and India is at a turning point. The British are packing up after ruling us for over 200 years. They leave behind a country that's not really one country yet. The princely states, 565 of them, covered almost half of India's land. Some were huge, like Hyderabad and Kashmir, while others were tiny, barely the size of a small town. These states had been under British control in a way, but not directly. The British had a system called paramountcy, which meant they handled big things like defense and foreign relations for these states, while the kings and princes ran their own internal affairs. When the British left, this system ended, and suddenly every ruler had a choice. They could join India, join Pakistan, or try to stand alone. If too many chose to go their own way or side with Pakistan, India would be weak and divided, like a puzzle with missing pieces. That's where Sardar Patel stepped in. Sardar Patel was India's Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister at the time. People called him the Iron Man of India because he was strong, determined, and wouldn't take no for an answer when it came to uniting the country. He looked at this chaotic situation and saw an opportunity, a chance to build a new united India from scratch. But it wasn't going to be easy. Convincing 565 different rulers, each with their own dreams and fears, to join one nation was a gigantic task. So how did he tackle it? He came up with a smart plan, and he didn't waste any time. Patel knew he couldn't do this alone. So he teamed up with a brilliant man named VP Menon, who became his secretary. Together, they set up something called the State Department in June 1947, just weeks before independence. This department had one job: to bring all the princely states into India. Their big idea was a document called the Instrument of Accession. It was like a contract. The rulers who signed it agreed to let India handle 3 things for their states: defense, external affairs, and communication. Let's break that down because it's really important to understand why these 3 things mattered. First, defense. Imagine a tiny state trying to fight off an enemy with its own little army. It wouldn't stand a chance, right? Patel told the rulers, "Join India and our army will protect you from any outside threats." After World War II, weapons like fighter planes and bombs had changed the game, and no small state could keep up on its own. Second, external affairs. This meant dealing with other countries. Things like trade, diplomacy, or even sending criminals back if they fled across borders. The rulers had never done this before. The British had always handled it. Setting up embassies all over the world would have been impossible for them. And third, communication. This covered everything that connects a country: postal services, telegraphs, telephones, railways, even shipping ports. Patel knew that if every state had its own systems, traveling or sending goods from one place to another would be a nightmare. By handing these 3 areas to India, the states could stay linked together as one nation. Now, getting the rulers to sign this document wasn't a walk in the park. Some were happy to join India, like the Maharajas of Baroda, Bikaner and Patiala, who saw the benefits right away. But others weren't so sure. Some wanted to stay independent, dreaming of running their own little kingdoms. Others even thought about joining Pakistan. Patel had to use a mix of charm, logic, and sometimes a little push to convince them. He met with the rulers, talked to them like friends, and explained why joining India was the best choice. He promised them that their titles, properties, and personal rights would be safe. To make his case stronger, he got help from Lord Mountbatten, the last British viceroy. Mountbatten was a big name, respected by many of the princes, and he told them, "Look, going it alone isn't practical. Join India, and you'll be part of something bigger and stronger."
But not every state agreed so easily. Let's talk about a few that put up a fight, because these stories show just how clever and determined Patel was. Take Junagadh, a state in Gujarat. The ruler there was a Muslim Nawab named Muhammad Mahabat Khan, but most of the people were Hindu. The Nawab wanted to join Pakistan, even though Junagadh was surrounded by Indian land. Patel wasn't having it. He convinced two smaller nearby states, Mangarol and Babariawad, to join India first. Then, he put an economic blockade on Junagadh, basically cutting off its supplies and scent in the military. The Nawab panicked, fled to Pakistan, and Junagadh was left with no choice. In 1948, they held a vote, and over 99% of the people chose India. That's how Patel turned the tide.
Then there's Hyderabad, a huge, rich state right in the middle of India. The Nizam, Mir Osman Ali Khan, was one of the wealthiest men in the world, and he wanted Hyderabad to be its own country, or maybe join Pakistan. Inside Hyderabad, a group called the Razakars was causing trouble, attacking people and stirring up chaos. The Nizam even asked other countries for help, but no one recognized Hyderabad as independent. Patel waited for the right moment, then sent the Indian Army in 1948 in something called Operation Polo. It took just a few days, and Hyderabad was part of India. Why polo? Because Hyderabad had 17 polo fields, more than anywhere else in India at the time. Kashmir was another tough one. The king, Hari Singh, wanted to stay independent. But in October 1947, Pakistani tribals invaded, trying to grab Kashmir for Pakistan. Hari Singh had no army strong enough to stop them, so he turned to India for help. Patel said, "We'll send our troops, but you have to join India." Hari Singh signed the Instrument of Accession, and the Indian army pushed the invaders back. Part of Kashmir is still held by Pakistan today, but Patel made sure most of it stayed with India. There were other tricky states too. Jodhpur's ruler, Hanwan Singh, was tempted by Pakistan because they offered him trade deals. Patel stepped in, met with him, and offered better terms, like connecting them in Jodhpur to a port in Gujarat. Jodhpur joined India. Bhopal's Nawab, Hamidullah, resisted for a while, but the people there pressured him, and he finally signed up in 1949. Even Travancore in the south, where the ruler wanted independence because of valuable minerals, gave in after public unrest and joined India. Patel didn't just focus on the big states, he also took care of the small ones. In Orissa, for example, there were 40 little states. He merged them with nearby areas to make everything simpler and stronger. Everywhere he went, Patel showed the same qualities. He was firm but fair, quick to act, and always thinking about what was best for India. He knew that if he waited too long, some states might slip away, and the dream of a united India would fall apart. By 1950, when India became a republic, almost all the 565 princely states had joined the Indian Union. Think about that for a second. 565 different rulers, languages and cultures all brought together in just 2 years. Patel's speed and smart saved India from turning into a mess of small, weak countries like Europe with its many borders and visas. Instead, he gave us one big, strong nation.
So, what's the takeaway from all this? Sardar Patel's work wasn't just about signing papers or sending armies. It was about vision-seeing in India where people could travel from Delhi to Jaipur without a visa, where we're all connected by the same roads, railways, and dreams. He believed in unity, and he made it happen. Today, when you look at India's map, you're seeing the result of his hard work. Pretty incredible, right? If this story inspires you, dive deeper into India's history and share it with others. After all, knowing how we became one nation helps us appreciate what we have today, a united India, thanks to the Iron Man himself, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel.